Growing You is a special place. It holds a special place in my heart, and I believe it's held a special place in the heart of the members who have joined over the years. We've had some wonderful opportunities to experience different things in life together, to support one another, but also to experience the power of growth and having experiences, even little experiences in the group that start to shift the way we see things, the way that we see ourselves, the levels of anxiety that have lived within some of us, the fears and the beliefs that are difficult to either identify or to replace. Maybe we know what the truth is, but we need other experiences to help that truth go to a deeper place within us. That is part of what makes this place so special to me. And it's always been difficult for me to highlight or succinctly describe what is the Growing You membership community and why you might want to consider it. I'm going to do my best to describe what's inside of it and what it's like for those who are members of it. The Growing You membership community is something that started out of my passion to see people grow. And after years and years and years of living burdened by different expectations and obligations that I really didn't need to be carrying, and messages that were distorting how I saw myself, how I saw God, I went through a personal journey of healing and growth after a season of stress and trauma. And then I became a trauma therapist. Over time, my healing journey included several experiences with God, directly and with other people, insights that I believe the Spirit was leading me to as I was asking God, how can I grow in this area? How can I grow in this area? How can I speak up and feel less fear and anxiety when I'm afraid to speak to certain people because of the way they present themselves? Or how can I communicate boundaries and set limits? How can I do that effectively without trying to manage things for other people? In fact, I didn't even know that I was doing some of those things. So the healing journey brought me through so much awareness of things that I didn't recognize and awareness of ways that I was carrying so much additional burden. So in the membership community, I offer 2 member calls each month. We meet on the first and third Wednesday of each month at this time from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Most members do like to attend as much as they possibly can, and they will rearrange their schedules so they can be part of the calls. It's not the only feature that we have, but it is a powerful feature because meeting together gives that opportunity for organic growth experiences that might happen. I also offer skills and different teachings that provide a starting place for us to explore what might be coming up for us. Maybe the Spirit is starting to reveal a pattern in our lives that needs to shift and change. Maybe a belief that we've been believing and that is starting to shift and something else is happening inside of us, and that's the awareness of God at work in our lives. Maybe it's a pain that's starting to surface, or we didn't know was still there and still had remnants. They start to pop up, grief that pops up, different losses and challenges. And we need a place to not only be supported, but to receive practical tools in application, things that help us communicate more effectively or take steps to manage what is ours to manage and to release the things that are not ours to manage. So we learn healthy responsibility. I also offer a core set of videos, which I'm continuing to refine and build. The group is always in process, but I call them growth foundations. So it's understanding some core principles about growth that I think are really powerful. And these are incorporating things that we see throughout Scripture of how God operates, things that we see from science and how our brains are designed and our bodies and our nervous systems are designed to experience growth. Growth as a human being, as an individual in this world, and growth as a believer and a child of God. So the growth principles and foundations is a starting place. And then growth lessons is a video library that I add to as I can with different teachings that apply to things like communication or difficulties with setting boundaries, identifying what that looks like, or tips for dealing with grief and building capacity, resiliency. We talked about resiliency in one of our group calls, and I'm working on breaking that down with the several different categories that I talked about in the group call and bringing them into separate videos so that you can explore. Is this an area where I need some support so that it would help me grow in resiliency when I'm facing really difficult things? Maybe my capacity has been really drained because of all the decisions I've had to make, all the stress that I've been under, or the trauma, or the abuse, or manipulation, different things that wear us down, tear us down, weigh us down. I'm even taking a breath as I do that. Because we can pause and notice what's happening inside of us as a result of the things that we've experienced, the things that have happened to us, and the things that have happened inside our own minds and bodies. My hope is that in this community, you will receive information that's helpful, education, that's only helpful to a certain extent. I want to also offer prompts and ways to facilitate taking what you're learning and applying it, whether it's in the group, with other members in the group, in group calls, or on the private community in Heartbeat, or in your personal life. And then knowing that you can come back, and if you have questions, you can ask questions. I can't guarantee I have answers, but I might also be able to help you explore it a little bit further or provide options that you hadn't considered in the past. Because sometimes when we're really worked up and we've been stressed, our brain is just full and it's hard to think about options that may be available to us. That's just one example of having an experience that can help you grow. When you start to see options and it feels like there aren't any, and then you start to notice those options and then decide which one you want to take. Like I said, it is challenging for me to put Growing You in a short video, but I want to invite you to check out the community. I want to invite you to ask questions. I'd be happy to take some of your questions and answer them with a video if that's helpful. In addition to the Growing You video library, I also include the bonus of some emotional regulation exercises. They're skill building exercises, things that you can practice to deal with difficult thoughts and different emotions when they surface, to do some exercises that can calm the body, calm the nervous system. Those are also included in the video library as a bonus. They're ones that I usually use with my clients as a therapist, and I offer to them for my clients. You as a Growing You member will get access to them as well. There are other bonuses that happen on occasion depending on what I'm working on, and I usually bring them to the Growing You community first. In addition, if you are an online Unleash Sheets user, you can get access to Unleash right inside the community on the Heartbeat app. The videos and the PDFs and everything all brought together with the Growing You membership community so that you can have access to all of it. Doors are currently open to Growing You, and I hope I get to welcome you in one of our group calls coming up real soon. Take care.